overtime, but in the end it was LSU knocking off number 25 Alabama 80-77. Darius Days led all scorers in this one with 24 points as the Tigers helped strengthen their resume with the win over the Tide and snap a 3-game losing streak against ranked opponents. And for reaction to the game, our college basketball insider Gary Parrish joins us now. Gary, I mean, what a game that was. Both teams needed momentum heading into the postseason, but today it was LSU to come out on top. What were your biggest takeaways from the game?
Well, first off, that's a fun way to start the final Saturday of the regular season. It wasn't the cleanest or prettiest basketball game we've ever watched, but it was a lot of fun. Just back and forth, back and forth. No team ever led by double digits, so it was competitive from the opening minute until the final minute. And ultimately, Alabama's undoing was, at least connected to its commitment to the three-point line. Like Nate Oates teaches a very specific style of basketball. They want everything on the offensive end to come at the rim or from the three-point line. So today, Alabama took nearly 66% of its field goal attempts from the three-point line. That's fine, I guess, but it's not going to be okay when you only make 27.5% of them. They finished 11 of 40 from three-point range. They only took 61 shots in the entire game. So even by Alabama standards, that's a little excessive, taking that many threes. Would have been okay if they'd have made, 2 or 3 more, but given that they missed all but 11 of them, again, it was always going to make it difficult to win a road game at a place like LSU.
Yeah, absolutely. It was back and forth, wasn't it? Elsewhere, though, there was a ranked-on-ranked matchup in the SEC during the early slate where Tennessee got an impressive win against Arkansas. The Volunteers led by 20+, but then had to hold off that late comeback from the Razorbacks. What stood out to you about their performance?
Well, even when you think you've got Arkansas down and out, they're still capable of coming back and getting you. Like you mentioned, Poppy, the Razorbacks were down 24 points on the road against a team that hasn't lost at home all season and came back and, actually had a shot to send this thing to overtime. Got it back to within striking distance, then, just came up a little short. But ultimately, those are two very good teams that were playing. Jerry Palm, the CBS Sports bracket expert, has both of them projected as a 4 seed. I don't know that either one of them will drop out of the top 4 seed projections between now and Selection Sunday. They've been rock solid most of the season. Arkansas had a little bit of a stumbling block, COVID problems earlier in the season, but since they got healthy and rolling, they were 14-1 in their past 15 games heading into this one. Tennessee, again, remains undefeated at home. Both of those teams are capable of not only playing in the second weekend of the NCAA tournament, but maybe going to the Final Four.
All right, so let's talk big picture here then, Gary, because there's currently 5 ranked teams in the SEC, along with a couple of unranked teams that are likely to make the tournament. So what's the NCAA tournament outlook for the SEC in your eyes?
This is as strong as the SEC has been in a long time, Poppy, and it reminds me of a story I was told about the late commissioner Mike Slive. When he was still commissioner of the SEC and the SEC network was launching, he told his athletic directors and presidents, you've got all the money you're ever going to need, invest in men's basketball, because they wanted a lot of good inventory for the SEC network, and the schools responded appropriately. The ones that needed to hire different coaches did that. The ones who needed to upgrade facilities did that. The ones who needed to upgrade recruiting budgets did that. And what you're seeing this season with the SEC is all a byproduct of it. LSU is one of the unranked teams in the league, but has always had strong computer numbers. This is a league with Auburn, Kentucky at the top, but Tennessee and Arkansas right there with them. They've got, at least 4, maybe even 5 legitimate Final Four contenders. And when you're talking about Kentucky and Auburn specifically, I think either one of those could theoretically win the national championship.
Yeah, the SEC looking strong. Gary Parrish breaking down Saturday's college hoops in the SEC. Gary, thanks so much. And for more from Gary, check out the Eye on College Basketball podcast. He's joined by Matt Norlander, where they break down all the biggest storylines and news you need to know heading into the tournament. The Eye on College Basketball podcast. Download, subscribe, and enjoy today.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.